Now, this is a very special training because this is really where all the magic happens. I'm going to be walking you through a proven step-by-step process to help you go from feeling single, alone, unable to attract a high-quality man, all the way to attracting the one, that man that you just roll over next to in the morning and just think, man, I finally found someone who I just absolutely click with. Now, I need to tell you kind of a harsh truth, and the reality is you've been told a lie ever since you were just a little girl. You were told that all you have to do is just go out there, follow your heart, and just be yourself, and a man will just magically appear into your life, and you will be together for the rest of your life, and everything will just be perfect, just like in those rom-coms or in those cartoons you were watching as a little girl. But of course, you probably realize that that is not a reality. That is what I call hope dating. Hoping and praying that the right person will come into your life at the right time with the right attributes that you're really looking for. Now, we don't rely on hope dating. We have a proven process that I've developed over the past 10 years as a professional dating coach, helping women just like you, like I said, go from single to attracting the type of guy who makes them feel deeply fulfilled, the type of person that they can spend truly the rest of their life with. So if that doesn't sound good to you, then please click away from this video. If you are a casual dater, this is certainly not for you. This is only for women who are very serious about getting out there and finally having that incredibly healthy relationship that they truly deserve. Now, before I get into this, I want to just give you a quick introduction in case you don't know who I am or know my background. Like I said, I'm a professional dating coach, and I've been helping women to attract love over the past 10 years. And actually, before I worked with women, I used to actually coach men on how to flirt and meet you. So I've actually brought a lot of the learnings that I had from coaching men and am actually teaching you some of these ideas about men's core desires so that you can finally be able to click with the right type of guy. If you've seen my YouTube channel, you've probably seen we have over 75 or 80 million views on the channel. It's absolute insanity. I've coached some of the top celebrities in the world. Recently, I just helped Kate Gosselin, of all people, and got her out there building her sexy confidence to find love.
You're saying this on a first meeting with people, and I'm saying that you may not think that you're saying that, but that is what's being communicated.
You maybe see me on TLC, Glamour, any of those places. And I've also had the honor to be able to speak at over 300 of the top universities all across the country on dating, relationships, and confidence. But none of that probably really matters to you. What matters most is my track record. I've helped over 10,000 women who've taken my proven programs, and I've helped them not only feel more confident in their love life, but be able to attract the right type of man for them and be able to cut through all the garbage advice out there and be able to finally attract that relationship that they truly deserve. Now, let me ask if this sounds like you. Do you get tired of going out on date after date after date with guys who make these big promises but always underdeliver? Or do you get triggered at the thought of looking at your phone every single morning when you wake up, hoping and praying that the guy you texted the night before is going to respond back, but you get this sinking feeling in your body that he's actually ghosted you and he's no longer interested? Do you have everything else in your life going really well? Do you have your professional life figured out? Maybe even your social life is pretty good, but you just don't have anyone to share this incredible life with? Do you just feel lonely? Even though your life isn't like horrible without a relationship, you just know in the deepest part of your soul that if you did meet the one, that man that you really connected with, that your life could just be so much more fruitful. Are you worried that you might just leave this life completely alone, knowing that you really didn't share it with anyone? If any of that sounds like you, then you are absolutely in the right place. And I have a solution that's going to help you go through a number of different, what I call little love steps, to be able to attract the one, attract that person that you've always wanted. As you continue to progress through these little love steps that I'm going to be teaching you in this video, you're going to start finding that men start to respect you in ways that you never even knew possible before. Or you're going to find that men start pursuing you for a relationship and begging you to commit to them, and just complete role reversal than probably what you've been expecting. And as you progress through the little love steps, you're going to have more options available to you than you've ever had before, which gives you the power to walk away from unhealthy relationships. And then when you do finally meet your equal, that one that you do want to spend a lot of time with, you'll be able to explore the world, be able to do activities, and be able to really connect with that person and finally feel like like you've arrived in your life. And it's at that moment where you'll be able to say goodbye to all the toxic, manipulative game playing and finally create that healthy, authentic, intimate relationship that you've always deeply desired. These little love steps that I'm going to be going through with you right now, they really work. I mean, every single morning I get to wake up to different messages just like this.
There was just these moments where we'd look at each other and just kind of knew that we were falling in love. And yeah, he set off some fireworks and we said, you know, Happy New Year's to everybody. And then he came over and said, I really love you. I love you so much. And yeah, it was a really special moment.
After your videos, I started to apply and listen to what men were saying and even to how my reaction was with them. And this just had a profound effect on, first of all, the quality of men that I was choosing to go on dates with. That improved. And it was great. I met my now husband. 4 months later, we were married. Just everything that you said about men and how they're thinking is completely opposite of how women are thinking.
It worked because I had you. You were like my best friend, my big brother, like in the background being like, okay, what are your standards? So yeah, we're going for it. We're eloping last week of August.
Truth is that you can attract the man that you've always deserved, that you always have wanted, but you just need to have a step-by-step system to get there. But I need to tell you, these steps, as I walk through them, are going to feel counterintuitive. They are not what you've been taught since you were young, and they are very different from all the other advice out there. And that's exactly why these work, because it's going to differentiate you from every other woman that men have met, and they are going to start engaging with you and start going out with you and start to be thinking to themselves, wow, this is the woman I've been looking for my entire life. And these little love steps are the exact steps that my students follow when they go through the Love Accelerated coaching program. This is designed for women who are serious about getting out there and finding love and are willing to submit themselves to a proven process that will actually get them there. So if this resonates with you and you're interested in scheduling a call with myself or someone on my team, you'll be able to see a way to be able to schedule that right there below. But I do urge you to watch this entire video first before you schedule that session so that we can be on the same page when we do have that strategy session with you. Now, my Love Accelerated program is unlike anything out there. It's the highest level of service and support, and it gives you the tools, everything you need to be able to attract the one. You'll also be engaged in a community of like-minded women who are just like you, who are dedicated to getting out there and making this happen. And best part is me and you get to connect directly as well as part of this program. I will guide you through this exact process so that you can finally get the results that you really want. So now let's jump right into the first little love step, and that is really the foundation of everything, and that is to build your sexy confidence. If you found in your life that you end up in relationships where you just don't quite feel worthy of that relationship, or you find in a relationship you tend to take the lead and take that masculine role and really try to control each step of the process, which ultimately repels men, if you ever find that, then chances are you are lacking what I call your sexy confidence. Now, the good news is this is something that you absolutely can work on, and this is really the foundation of everything that we do. Because if you truly feel in the deepest part of who you are that you deserve an incredible relationship, and you bring that to every interaction, you bring that to every relationship, you bring that to everything you do, suddenly you start actually attracting that into your life. And my Love Accelerated program really teaches you exactly the process for starting to build that sexy confidence from the start, so that when you're going out there, you can give that aura to men that just says, damn, that is the type of woman I really want to be with. And that's exactly what is part of this. And one thing I've been teaching ever since the earliest days of being a dating coach was this one idea, and that is be attracted to yourself to live a life full of love. When you truly feel at the deepest part of who you are that you are an attractive person, that you bring a lot of great energy to a relationship, suddenly you start attracting that type of relationship. And these modules are really designed to help you understand your self-worth, to be able to position yourself in a way that is attractive to men. I'll also start teaching you men's core desires so that you're no longer confused about men's actions, and you start to really understand why it is that we do the things that we do in relationships. And I'm also going to be talking a lot about tapping into kind of that feminine energy. Men are naturally drawn to feminine energy. And it doesn't mean that you need to be disempowered, and it doesn't mean that you can't have a lot of control throughout this process. In fact, if you really start to understand feminine and masculine energy, you're actually going to find that the feminine energy has a lot of the power throughout the dating process. So that is little love step number 1. And once you start to really understand sexy confidence and start to feel that feeling of sexy confidence and true self-worth, you're going to start attracting much, much higher quality men. And that's really the first part of the entire process. Then, as you start to feel a little bit more sexy confident, you start to feel a little bit more comfortable with this whole process, then we move on to little love step number 2, which is all about creating your love vision. If you don't know where you're going, then it's going to be impossible to get there. And creating your love vision is really taking a step back in your love life and taking a look at your past, what has worked for you, what hasn't worked for you. And maybe you haven't dated at all, or maybe you've gone through a brutal divorce, or maybe you've just had a lot of really rocky relationships in your past. Regardless, there's a lot of good nuggets of information that we can take from that to be able to bring forward to future relationships, because you truly are the one common denominator in all your relationships. So creating your love vision begins with taking a look at your past, what's worked, what hasn't worked. Then I take you through a very specific process to have you really looking into the future and what it is that you would want in your life. And this whole little love step is completely designed around you having the power to attract the man that you really want. Because I'll tell you this, if you don't define what you need in a man, you will be chosen by a man that you don't want. And this is why you've been told a lie throughout your entire life, and that is to just go about your life and just follow your heart and just hope that the right man will come into your life. And this doesn't work because you don't have a love vision. Once you have that love vision and it is defined, it is in HD, it is so clear that you can feel it, that you can see it, that you can hear the man, you understand every part of what it is that you want, and that is going to be a part of the foundation moving forward. Now notice on little love step number 1 and number 2, you haven't even gone out and met anyone yet, right? You have done the baseline growth work to be able to set yourself up for success. And if you haven't done that foundational work, then that's probably why you've bounced from one relationship to another relationship and just kind of wondered, why aren't things really working out? Now, luckily, once you get through little love step number 1 and number 2, then we get to the fun part, which is you get to go out and start meeting quality men. Once you have that love vision, you know the type of man, the type of person you want to be with, and you've kind of set that standard for yourself, now I give you a proven process to be able to get out there and find quality men. I don't want you to be wasting your time going out and meeting just another dud on some random online dating site or just another guy at some bar. You moving forward are going to have a strategy for getting out there, for keeping yourself accountable to going out to those places, as well as I'm going to give you all the tools that you need to be able to ask the right questions when you're meeting guys and also be able to flirt with guys when you are actually going out, because flirtation is a huge part of all of this. And if you found that you gotta go into like what I call the motivational ebbs and flows of dating, like you'll have 2 months of like, I'm gonna get out there, go meet a lot of men, and then you'll go and do that and it doesn't really work out. So then you'll go 2 months without doing anything. And then you'll go 2 months again of trying to get motivated and go out again, and then nothing happens. None of that will happen anymore because I'm gonna give you a framework that you can use to consistently get out there and meet as many as 5 to 10, if not as many as 15 new guys every single month. Now, if that gives you anxiety, don't worry. I walk you through this process and I really build you up throughout this whole little love step, and I give you everything that you need so that you can feel very comfortable and confident throughout this entire process. I'll tell you this much. The more you get out there, the more you'll feel empowered. And that's because options give you walking power when a man doesn't meet your love life vision. It gives you that walking power. The more guys that you have in your kind of world, the more guys you're talking to, the more you feel comfortable that you can go out and meet other men, the more powerful you'll be throughout this whole process. And that's exactly what we teach you within Little Love Step 3. We give you all the tools, we give you exactly what to say it, how to make it happen, where to go, everything you need to make Little Love Step number 3 happen. Then finally, once you're getting out there and meeting lots of men, what we find is that women have more options than they even know what to do with. And that's when they go to Little Love Step number 4, which is all about qualifying your dating options. Now, this little love step is very counterintuitive for a lot of women who are kind of struggling in their love life. Because when you're struggling in your love life, you come from a place of scarcity. You meet one guy that you really like, you invest all of your energy into that one guy, and you hope and you pray that he will like you, and you try to do everything you can to make him like you. But this is where the process really flips that right side up. I give you the right type of mentality that you can use when you start going out on those dates. You're gonna meet a lot of guys in Little Love Step number 3. And then once you have those options, now it's time to actually go on these dates and go to Little Love Step number 4 and start qualifying them. And qualifying is really all about the mentality you bring to those earliest stages of dating. This is when you're gonna go out on dates and you're going to see if the guy that you're out with really meets the criteria that you've now set for yourself. Because you've already set your love vision in Little Love Step number 2. And now that you're on Little Love Step number 4, you're gonna really have a lot of different options. You're gonna be talking to different guys, and you are going to be in a position of power. And one of my clients once said this to me, and it's really stuck with me over the years, and it's the exact mentality that you wanna be bringing to a date. And that is that you are the prize that he is begging to win over. And once you really have that mentality, suddenly you are now in the driver's seat. You are the person who is going to go out with men and see if they are a fit for you, not the other way around. And I give you a lot of tools that you can use, things to say, what to do, how to go on that first date so that it is ultimately successful, how it is that you can be talking to multiple men at the same time. I give you everything that you need so you can be going out and qualifying your dating options. Now, this is the part that is a little counterintuitive for a lot of women, because a lot of women, once they meet a guy that they are at all interested in, a lot of women I've found just get like zeroed in. Like, that is the man that I want to be with, and they don't see anything else. But what I urge you to do is keep your options open throughout this process. I don't tell you to be sleeping with all these men. I don't tell you to be committing to any of these men and cheating on them, nothing like that. What I'm telling you to do is not commit to a man unless it is explicitly clear that you are in a committed relationship. And that is what we're doing in Little Love Step number 4, is qualifying your options, seeing which ones are really a fit. And once you get down to 3 guys that you'd say are a really solid fit for you, then you get to move on to the really fun one, which is Little Love Step number 5, which is pace the progression of your connections. One thing that I noticed over the years when it came to dating between men and women is that the slower that a woman would go in the earliest stages of the relationship, when a woman would move very slow, it made a man actually want to move faster in the relationship. And the faster a woman wants to go in the relationship, the more a man just digs down his heels and says, nope, I don't want to move forward. Okay? And there's this really interesting rubber band dynamic that occurs at this phase in a relationship where one person tends to be pulling one way and the other person tends to be pulling the other way. And Little Love Step number 5 teaches you how to slow it down when you are talking to a couple of different guys so you can really decide which is your best option. And this is what I mean by talking to. You're just in conversation. You might go on a couple of dates with guys. You might be seeing which one is really working for you. And it's not until you are in Little Love Step number 6 where you fully dive in and fully commit to the guy. I have never, in all my years as a dating coach, seen a relationship fail because the woman moved too slow in those earliest stages. I constantly see relationships fail because the woman is trying to move fast. And I give you an exact formula that you can use to really pace things, slow it down, slow your mindset down, and keep yourself in check throughout the whole process. Because again, the more you pace the relationship, the faster he'll want to speed things up. And this is why it's a little counterintuitive. But once you start to really understand this mindset and you really understand the power of it, suddenly this becomes very easy. And this is when men start to truly be begging for you to commit to them. That is the power position that I help you get into, where you have multiple men who you're talking to, you're not dating officially, you're not in a committed relationship, but you're talking to, who are literally begging for you to be with them. And it puts you in this position of absolute power to be able to walk away from the ones that aren't right for you and to be able to commit your energy to the right guys. And all along the way, I'm gonna help you really assess the red flags of each guy so that you can really make sure you're investing your energy into the right places and not investing it into the wrong type of guy who's going to absolutely break your heart and then you gotta start all over again. I'm going to be able to save you so much time throughout this whole process by coaching you through pacing the progression of your connections. And then once you finally connect with a guy and you decide that this is the man that you want to put your energy into, you're not interested in any other guys that you've been talking to, then you can move on to little love step number 6. And this is where the deepest part of soulful connection really exists. And that is being able to set boundaries for a healthy relationship. Setting boundaries in a new relationship is absolutely critical to the success of a relationship. And far too many people, especially women, go into new relationships with a certain set of assumptions that the guy is on the same page about. Most importantly, the first boundary that you really need to set is a boundary about what commitment really is. And are you in a committed relationship or not? If you don't set that boundary up front of what a relationship really is and what commitment really means to you and means to him, then it's going to be impossible to set a real foundation for a relationship moving forward. So in this little love step, we talk all about how to transition a relationship from those early stages of kind of talking to then being in a healthy, committed relationship. And little love step number 6 is really designed to help you transition from that early phase of dating where you are just like magnetically attracted to each other, the chemistry is there, you can't eat, you can't sleep, you have a neuropinephrine, all these love chemicals just flowing through your veins because you are just in new love. And what I teach you to do is really set those boundaries in those earliest stages and sets kind of the bedrock for the relationship moving forward. Because I'll tell you this, a relationship will never thrive without clear boundaries. And then once you've really gotten through that early phase of dating, the 3 to 6 months of being with the guy, then you get to move on to the final little love step. And this is where you actually start building a real life together. This is what you've been wanting, and you finally met a man that you truly connect with on the deepest part of who you are. Now you have a choice. Are you ready to take the next step and learn how to apply these principles to your love life? I mean, you wouldn't be here right now if you only wanted casual flings with emotionally unavailable men. You're here because you have a great life. You're successful, but you don't want to go another day without having someone to share it with. A companion and a best friend, but also a man who you can connect with intimately on both a physical and emotional level. I mean, your life might be great right now, but you know in the deepest part of your soul that it could be even more fulfilling with the right relationship. Now, you can treat this video like the other videos you watch about dating and relationships and then go back to the same old stuff you were doing. You can keep trying the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different result, feeling alone, lost, and scared that you might miss out on life's deepest emotion, love. Or you can take this moment to decide that now is the time to change and that the little love steps might be your path forward to finding the quality man you've always wanted. So here's how I can help. My team and I have set aside some time over the next few days to speak to you personally about how you can apply the little love steps to your dating life immediately. Whatever your biggest obstacles are, I promise you, we've seen it and we can help you overcome them. We're going to call you directly to understand on a very deep level why you're not attracting love into your life. We'll then work with you to develop a clear love vision so you know exactly what to look for in a man. And if you and your love strategist agree that coaching is a good fit for you, and if we still have availability, we'll open a spot to our Love Accelerator coaching program for you so that you can access all of the tools, knowledge, coaching, and feedback you'll need as you implement these 7 little love steps into your life. But before you can apply below, I want to be very clear about who this is for. For starters, Finding love must be a priority for you right now, not next month or next year when work slows down. Also, this should be the one missing piece in your life. You must have the financial security to invest your energy into this program, to focus on what matters most in life, attracting true love. And finally, you must be open to changing your approach because you realize that you are the common denominator in all your past relationships. And if that's you, then please apply below for a complimentary love strategy session. Now, you're probably wondering, Adam, why are you doing this? Well, it's really for one reason. I want to be a part of your love story. There's really nothing more satisfying than hearing about how the little love steps helped you attract the love of your life. And I don't want you to waste another day feeling single, alone, and hopeless when we both know that there's a better way. We've set aside 60 minutes to personally speak with you to understand your challenges and lay out a proven framework to help you attract love. And if we both decide that the Love Accelerator is right for you, then great, we'll open up a spot for you. But if not, no worries either. There's no pressure or anything like that. The worst thing that happens on this call is that you spend an hour of your life building a strategy for finding love. And the more likely scenario is that this love strategy session is your first step to attracting the man in the relationship you've always wanted. Apply below to claim your complimentary love strategy session to begin applying the little love steps to your life immediately. But don't wait, the calendar fills up quickly. If you are a successful single woman who's ready to improve her love life, then you are in the right place. Take this time, give yourself this gift, and apply for your free complimentary love strategy session below so that you can finally start taking the right steps in the right direction. Speak to you soon.